No, we'll do it after that then. After him? After this? Yeah.
I can hear you now. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Too easy. There we go. You still hear me?
Yep, I'm good. We'll go. Okay, let's do it now. Yep. What's that? Welcome along here to English Park for this Morrison Mitsubishi English Cup Final for 2023. Well, my name's Craig Crawford and I've got here with me Lee Padmore. Good evening, Lee. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Craig. Delighted to be here for what promises to be an unbelievable game of football.
Well, seeing these two sides together a few times this year already. We've got Cashmere Technical in the yellow and Christchurch United in their blue strip. Should be an absolute cracker, and in charge today we've got referee Mike Killick. He'll be assisted by Michael Love and Ralph Clegg. The fourth official is Caleb Downs. And as we have a look through the visitors today, the Cashmere Technical boys, plenty of experience at it. There's over 200 caps in Tom Swartz. Plenty of guys got 50 caps, National League experience. Who you got your eyes on out there, Lee?
Yeah, obviously Tom Schwartz, great leader, played a lot of games at this level in National League football. Garth and Coughlin, Yuya Taguchi, when they get close and they can combine, they're difficult to stop. So that with the addition of the wide players of JJ and Lyle, I'm looking forward to seeing them all in action.
Well, there's plenty of players to look out for, and Garth and Coughlin to bring the highlight there. He's Golden Boot winner at all levels of the game. The recently crowned Chatham Cup winners in Christchurch United. Well, these boys will be still floating after that huge win last weekend. Great side out there, got the accolades. Hopefully they won't want to be going to penalties today.
Hopefully not for them. They've had a great season, haven't they, Christchurch United? What Paul and Eco have done there over the past couple of seasons is an exceptional. Some great players in that side and some great players left out too. So looking forward to seeing both these sides in the National League from next week. Well,
Daniel McLennan was a highlight for me last week. He really did well, so really bossed every part when he had the ball. And of course you got Eddie Wilkinson came on strong when he was required last week and really set the place on fire. He'll be looking to get a bit of form before this National League season, as will both teams actually, being the Southern League representatives, and they yet to kicks off next weekend, doesn't it, the National League?
Kicks off next weekend, yeah. You know, we talk about the jump up to the Southern League from the level below, but the jump up from the Southern League to the National League's a big one too. So both these sides look well equipped to go and represent the region well. So we look forward to seeing that.
Sure do. So there was a big celebration weekend here at Mainland Football. Earlier today we had all the McDonald's youth team winners for all the leagues, and a few of the kids have stuck around for this one, so hopefully they enjoy that. The run-in for these guys in the English Cup, well, we saw that they played in this fixture last year as well, of course, where Cashmere Technical are the actual current holders. But the run-in, we had just the 3 rounds. Round one, Christchurch United beat Universities 4-0. It beat Fermi Bays 1-0. And in the semi-final, they overcame Halsey United 4-0. So relatively clean sheets all there for Christchurch United. And it's Christchurch United who will have the first bit of go forward, but Tom Swartz is going to stop that one. Aidan Barbara on the centre of the park here today, by the looks, maybe just playing a deeper type striker in the... Nice work out there from Lockie McIsaac, just to find Storer, expand the field there. Andrew Storer, his first year as captain, I believe, here at Cashmere Technical. Probably a role I would have picked a few 4 or 5 years ago when he was playing for Canterbury United, but he seems to have done really well in that role this year.
Yeah, quiet sort. Andrew Storer, but a good leader on and off the pitch, does things right. It seems strange seeing a Cashmere technical side without Tom Schwartz with the armband, but I'm sure Tom's taught him a lot and working with him lots to give him some leadership advice.
And here's Schwartz now. You always look forward to the time when Tom Schwartz can find himself a bit of midfield space and release that big left foot, but Yuya Taguchi finds the ball at the top of the box and gets his first strike on, unsuccessfully.
Yeah, just looking at Christchurch United, Craig, and I'm trying to pick their shape. It looks like it could be a 3-5-2 again. They've used that recently, and with missing obviously O'Driscoll, that would make sense. So it looks like Eddie Wilkinson and Joel Peterson as two wing-backs.
No Owen Stokes either in this side. He played a great game last weekend in that Chatham Cup final, really bossed things around at times. Got him with the header. Well up and one there by, is it Lapsley out there now? I think we didn't have him originally in the starting squad, but number 15. McLennan combining well with Peterson, who drives into the box. Gets a ball to the far post. Well, no one there.
Yeah, I've just been informed that Sam Lapsley took the place of Alex Ballard in the starting lineup. Not sure why, but yeah, Sam Lapsley's played a lot of football at this level and be more than comfortable in a final. So look forward to seeing that.
And a new face in goal for Cashmere Technical also. We got Aidan Crystal. He's been playing in the reserve side. Came from Western last year, I believe. So with Cashmere Technical finding themselves short of a couple of keepers actually. Danny Knight and Matt Ford away with the New Zealand under-17s. Leaves Dan Swartz with no choice but to go down to the third rated keeper.
Yeah, a tough one for them, and certainly a regulation that needs looking at. You know, you want us to be producing players to play international football, and we want to be doing that locally. And unfortunately, they've been unable to bring a goalkeeper in. So Aidan's done well, young lad. So I'm sure he'll be more than okay today.
We've got our first corner of the day here for Cashmere Technical. Swung in, but got rid of by Mason Stern for the moment. Richards with a great ball in. Headed goalward by Storer, but with no real power. McLennan can only get it forward to Mick Isaac. Barbara Ryan. Watched carefully by Stern. Well, those two boys, Aidan Barbara Ryan and Mason Stern, have played a bit of football together. Back in the day at Horsell, also went to Lincoln High School together. Now they find themselves on opposing sides. Lapsley into Stern. Lapsley looking forward, releasing Peterson. Awkward in there. Phillips got in and got position. Stern distributing out to Wilkinson, another player who played with Stern at Horsell back in the day. It was great to see Wilkinson back into football in this area. Well, that's high, wide and handsome from Matt Todd-Smith. But yeah, Eddie Wilkinson tried his luck over in Aussie there for a bit earlier this year.
He went to Eastern Lions and started off well. I mean, Eddie's one of those people that needs to be playing football and enjoying his football to be playing well. So it's good to see him back. Top player when he's enjoying his football. So hopefully he can find that mojo back again. Yeah,
I think he had to overcome a couple of injuries while he was over there, and but great to see him back in it, and I'm sure he'll provide a bit of sting in the National League tail, and maybe even today for Christchurch United. Let's leave back to Lindsay, to Morris. Morris looking for opportunities to get it forward. McLennan cleverly back into Wilkinson. Wilkinson around into some space. Back to McLennan. on his dangerous left foot. Nice ball out to Todd Smith, who's found himself in an offside position. Can't quite believe it there, and we're not looking over the linesman's shoulder, of course, but it didn't look offside to me either.
No, didn't look offside in live action. It's still a little bit of feeling out from both sides here, hey?
Matt Todd Smith still going on about it. Yep, and Mr. Killick is going to remind him of you're a player, not an official. Get on with it. Well, great crowd here in the Steve Sumner stand. Of course, there'll be the Steve Sumner medal be handed out today for the MVP of the game. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. It's a bit of a foul over there right in front of the assistant referee. Morris recently, bit of experience playing with New Zealand under 23s recently. Stern. Can't see a way forward. Go back to Grover. Back into Lindsay. Impatient play here. Barbara Ryan's got it. Into Matheson, to Coughlin. Cut out by Stern. Gets a bit of go forward. Nothing much above him though. Goes to Joe Godden. A nice switch of play here from Christchurch United. Peterson's on the ball. Godden back to Todd Smith. Straightish ball into Peterson, who had maybe thoughts of doing something quite special in that corner of the box, but not coming off for him. Swartz, Coughlin and Lindsay going toe-to-toe in there. I'm sure that would be a great battle. United will know they've got to keep a close eye on Garvin Coughlin today. One of those players that just sort of goes hiding for a bit, doesn't he, Lee?
Yeah, well, obviously worked with him for the final year of Canterbury United, and he gets a little bit of stick, Garvin, for being a little bit lazy, but he couldn't be further from the truth, really. He's a hard worker for the team, especially when it means he could get a goal out of it.
Well, that's a striker's job.
Absolutely. So it could be a long day for him up there on his own, but he'll work hard and try and claim some time when he's on it and take some pressure off Cashmere Technical where he can.
Well, seeing him play in a few of these lead-in games, as we mentioned earlier, their road to the final, they overcame FC 2011 4-1 in the round one. The quarterfinal was a 3-2 victory over Selwyn. We'll come back to that once. And the semi-final was a 3-1 victory over Coastal Spirit. And we saw Garvin Coughlin in some of those games drop quite deep, get involved in the midfield action. Don't know if we'll see that today.
No, he likes to come in deep just to connect the game a little bit. He doesn't like to be isolated too often from the game. And like I say, he can take a little bit of pressure off you. So he'll come, dribble, keep the ball for 3, 4, 5 seconds, and that'll take a little bit of pressure off the team. So he's good at recognising that. But he does his best business when obviously he's at the other end of the park. Well,
of course, earlier on in the season, there was an absence of Yuya Toguchi, who's recently returned from Spain and Australia. And he does provide that sort of stuff in the midfield for Cashmere Technical.
Yeah, less need for Garvin to drop deep when Yuya's in the team for sure. Like one of the best
a ball
players.
That Morris is going to have to come out for and get rid of. Yeah. Well, of course, the Southern League season. Lee, you're taking the Selwyn United side. You would have come across these two sides. Christchurch United, of course, winning the competition. Cashmere Technical once again second, but this time not on goal difference. Here's Matheson, one-on-one with Grover. Bit of a flop there in the eyes of Killick. But yeah, you would have obviously played against both these sides. Always a handful.
Yeah, both of them beat us in the last minute. Cashmere Technical
you did have the privilege of losing a few games in that last minute, didn't you?
Yeah.
You got a petition for 80-minute games for next season?
Yeah, I got Josh to print me off a league table before with the 80-minute games. So
congratulations, you won it, did you?
Yeah.
Free kick here, and Matt Todd Smith's come out a bit angry today. He's found his way in the book of referee Killick. Obviously there's an earlier exchange and there's plenty of disagreement with the decision to give Cashmere Technical a free kick there. And
yeah, I mean, Mike's a real players referee. You know, he wants to talk to the players, but he wants to have a conversation. He doesn't want to be screamed at. So yeah, no surprises to me that Todd Smith finds himself in the book for the second time of showing dissent.
well, I've had the privilege of playing against Mike Killick back in my fitter days, and even in my unfit days when I was playing Masters football. And he's a hell of a contender on the park as a player. So he's not one of those referees who's never played the game. Mm-hmm. He knows the game inside out and gives a lot back to the sport. So no need to question what he's thinking.
Dangerous free kick here though for Cashmere Technical.
Taguchi swinging it in, can't get it across the first man, which is disappointing. McIsaac floats it back in. Matheson doing his best to bring it down, but just got away from him there.
You feel set piece delivery's got to be important for Cashmere Technical. That's 2 poor deliveries now, one from Matheson, one from Taguchi. You'd like to see some quality there with the tall timber that Tech have always had.
Definitely has been a feature of what they can bring to the game, the set play, and with there's quite a strong breeze here blowing across the screen from right to left and at the back of Cashmere Technical, and they really need to be trying to make the most of it. Coughlin gambling on the special and not coming off for him.
I'm not sure I know anybody else in the South Island who's trying to shoot that.
I know a couple of them, but they're well deep into Masters football and just doing it for a laugh. Stern coming away with it. Links into Godden. Clips it cleverly away to Wilkinson. Back into Stern. Caught from behind from Barbara Ryan, but that missed the eyes of Killick. Out it comes to Matheson. Matheson drawing the attention of Riley Grover. Back to McIsaac. Barbara Ryan. Lapsley. Of course, playing against his brother today, and here's an interesting play there. Did Danny Kane just jump up and grab that with his hands, or was I seeing things?
He did, I think. I missed it, but a little bit of professionalism there from the Irish right back.
He's gone into the book for it too, of course, for a deliberate handball. It might have heard a whistle or something. There's no threat in that danger in that going over his head.
It didn't look like it. Todd Smith still having a little chat with Mike Killick.
Well, Danny Kane, coming in, well-respected player there from Ireland this year. Had a few injury troubles, but he's talking to Dan Swartz. He's got himself fit in a delightful ball here, but just running out of grass. Great throw there from Morrison to Grover. Stern gets it and can look forward. Wilkinson drifts inside, can't find anything. Stern across to Lapsley, as we were saying earlier. Ben Lapsley playing against his brother Sam here. Grew up playing under the educated guys of their father at FC 2011 for a long time. Wilkinson, Todd Smith out to Stern. Wilkinson, an opportunity to cross the ball here. Whips it into the area, can't get it past Swartz. Grover, cleverly dancing around Coughlin. Lindsay. Looking for some action. Gets it out to Peterson. Todd Smith, patient in his play. Lapsley. Todd Smith to Stern. And it goes to Peterson. Two players spent a bit of time in the US College there's another wee dive in there from Taguchi in the eyes of Killick. Wilkinson gets round one. Godden. Lapsley doing well to get in the way of that one. Godden and Stern exchange passes. Out it goes to Lapsley. Todd Smith out to Lapsley. Peterson. Todd Smith finds McLennan. Well patrolled in there from Storer, and they've got their first corner, have Christchurch United.
Yeah, look like they're starting to flex the muscles a little bit, Christchurch United, and Tech getting that little bit deeper. But in fairness to Tech, this is where they come into their own. A little bit of experience, soak up the pressure, and they can hurt you on the break quickly, so they won't be too worried.
You definitely saw that more patient play of just working it around the middle third, looking for those opportunities to open up. Cashmere technical, but their defensive shape's always well patrolled. Away by Matheson. Falls to Coughlin. Here it is, Godden. Great strike. Bit of an opportunist one. It fell to him and did well to get it on target. And gave Crystal something to do for the first time today.
Yeah, and awesome to see that the experienced Tech boys just giving him a little bit one up there, saying well done.
One's gone to the far post. Richards gets it away to McLennan. Back to Lapsley. Stern. Lindsay. Wilkinson. Fresh from taking the corner. Gets it to Godden.
Oh.
And, oh my goodness. Wilkinson, slightest of touches as he don't think he was going to take a strike, but he suckered the defender into some close attention there, and there wasn't a lot in it, and probably from where Killick was standing, probably looked worse from the angle we have here.
Yeah, very unfortunate, I think, for Taguchi, but on the flip side, I think it's a penalty. You know, Mike Killick in a good position. Really unfortunate, because I don't think he's tried to make a challenge, to be honest. And Wilkinson feeling the contact and doing what all good attackers do.
Well, they've had practice at penalties, have Christchurch United. Who's going to step up and take this one? It's Todd Smith. Well, he delivered the slow ball in the fifth penalty last week. Dribbled it down the middle. Had a lot of hearts and mouths, but let's see what he can do today to open up the scoring in the coming up to the 20th minute. And cool as you like. Probably a better penalty than last week. He'll be more than happy with that. He's probably replayed that one over and over in his head. And we've got a 1-0 advantage to the side in blue. Christchurch United 1. Cashmere Technical 0 at the 20th minute.
Yeah, and although unfortunate on that balance of play over the last 5 or 6 minutes, probably deserved of a lead without really carving Cashmere Technical open. And Tech will probably have to come out a little bit now, so I think we've got a game on now.
Yes, well, cup final football really does need goals, don't they? Once you see goals in cup football, it just makes it more and more exciting. McIsaac drives one in towards Coughlin, but Lindsay doing well to dominate that area. Phillip to Lapsley. Lapsley giving his right foot a go. That doesn't happen too often. Stern to Wilkinson. Drives in. Little touch and nutmeg there on Lapsley. Wilkinson done well to keep possession there under close attention from Barbara Ryan. And Barbara Ryan just coming up. Oh no. A second corner or third corner here for Christchurch United.
That's where you like to see Eddie Wilkinson, isn't it? Facing forward, dribbling. You can imagine that smile on his face as he's dribbling past players.
Oh, especially once he gets a nutmeg, he'll be. We know he might be down at the Sprig and Fern later on collecting that pint. And Wilkinson looking into the far post, got and tried to get his foot on it, I think it was. And Lapsley's left foot there, set that one into the car park, and thank goodness I didn't park anywhere near there. Crystal to Swartz. McIsaac. Good intention on it, but Lindsay was on top of that one, but Taguchi now in position. Well, the last time these two sides actually met, it was a Christchurch technical victory. 3-1. And one of the players who scored an absolute cracker that day, Luke Tung, is no longer, well, he's still in the squad for Cashmere Technical, but has moved up to work with the Wellington Phoenix, which is a great move for him.
Great move for him. Great young coach. Great opportunity for him to go in and experience what professional football is all about. So I wish him all the best.
They might miss his those sort of goals that he got a couple of weeks ago there when Cashmere Technical won 3-1 to inflict the one and only defeat in the Christchurch United balance sheet. And of course the only draw they had was also against Cashmere Technical, so this is a long way from being over.
How good is it to have two proper National League teams in the Southern League though? You know, like you look at these two and they wouldn't look out of place in the National League, I'm sure. So that's really cool to see for Canterbury football and movement forwards for our region.
Gordon to Wilkinson. McLennan hungry for it. They can't find him. Lapsley on the ball. Richards with a tasty little touch in and around. Kane with a bit of room to move, but Peterson has covered it well. Lapsley. Great ball to McLennan. Looking for Phillip. Well, Sam Phillip has got a bag full of goals. I think he has just edged Garvin Coughlin by the single goal for the Golden Boot race this year. Coughlin not able to get a goal in that 3-1 victory, which is quite unusual. But 29 goals for Sam Phillip in the Southern League. No doubt he got a few in the Cups games as well. And Garvin Coughlin ended up on 28. We've got the two best strikers out on show today anyway, haven't we, Lee?
We certainly do, and I know Garvin was fuming because he was well clear until that 13-goal game for Christchurch United against Green Island where Sam Phillip got 8 or 9. So, yeah, you know what strikers are like with their goals.
Yes. McLennan, found by Wilkinson, takes on Stokes. And McIsaac doing well there to deny the ball getting anywhere near Wilkinson. Yes, as we go down the Golden Boot race, actually, you got Owen Stokes, who's not here today, got 15. Got to go all the way down to Aidan Barbara Ryan, who has 8 goals for Cashmere Technical. So, we can really those two boys, Coughlin and Phillip, have really been greedy with the goals, haven't they?
Yeah, top 2 strikers for sure.
Coughlin straight into Grover, who doesn't look too well. And he's got himself into a forward position here. Coughlin around and out, unfortunately. And well seen by the assistant. And Riley Groven might have just got an accidental little arm flung in his throat there for a moment. He's back up and ready to go.
First time you see Coughlin and Taguchi a little bit closer together, and they get themselves down the side of Christchurch United. So as the game progresses, I expect you'll see that a little bit more, which will be good to see for Cashmere Technical.
Well, in the up-and-coming National League, Cashmere Technical will have a home game next week. They're due to be out here at English Park against Auckland United. Christchurch United will be away to Eastern Suburbs, so really two tough games for them to step up on. So they'll be more than happy to be involved today to just sharpen their tools and to get ready for that contest. Stern and Wilkinson again combining well. Good ball through across to Peterson. Todd Smith, back to Godden, to Grover, back into Godden, Wilkinson. Isaac doing well there just to shut things down. Grover, Godden, Lindsay. Like the way Cameron Lindsay just takes that opportunity to drive into spaces presented in front of him and get a bit of go forward. Taguchi. Richards, back to Taguchi. Into Matheson. Matheson popping up on the right this time. Tried to get round Lindsay, but Peterson to Lapsley's giving it away to the top of the area to Barbara Ryan, who has a crack, but easily dealt with by Morris. Phillip out to Wilkinson. Rolls into McLennan, gets it back. Grover into Godden. Godden just with a bit of a misdirected pass there. McIsaac's pounced on it. Can he create something here? Barbara Ryan out to Taguchi in a more advanced position. Matheson looks to clip it across, but Lapsey's done awfully well there to shut things down there. Looks like in the 30th, we're just coming up to the 30th minute, we're going to see our first change.
Yeah, looks like Danny Kane struggling with a little bit of an injury, replaced by Xander Edwards. So I imagine that'll be Jacob Richards to right back, and Xander will play just ahead of him on that right-hand side, but we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, it looks like Xander Edwards has gone into a bit more of an advanced position than what Danny Kane was playing in. Well, Xander Edwards, what do you know about that young lad from Nelson? Played a bit in the Phoenix Academy, I believe.
Yeah. So he was in the Phoenix Academy in my time there, as in the group below.
Barbara Ryan turning and driving into the box, tries to get round one, just can't get round the second though. Swartz out to McIsaac. Touch isn't good, but he's recovered well. Swartz been asked to use his right foot, gets it to Taguchi. Lapsley back into Storer. Richards drives across and switches to McIsaac. Into Coughlin. Nice little 1-2. Godden. Stern and Matt Todd Smith, and Godden's on it. Driving forward. Oh, that ball just missing Matt Todd Smith there. Could have created a great opportunity. Well, I haven't seen Xander Edwards take the field as any games I've been working on as yet, but obviously a good talent for the future as an under-20 player. Here comes Thomas Schwartz, unceremoniously bundled over by Mason Stern, and he's absolutely steaming.
They call him Tommy Turbo for a reason. He was flying then.
He had his eye on the top corner, didn't he?
Yeah, he was flying, and yeah, he'll now be nice and happy with Mason Stern, as you can see him. Their little high five.
What a competitor.
Oh, great competitor, one of the best. Absolutely, yeah. So Xander Edwards was one of those players that scored a goal against us in the last minute to take the victory for Cashmere Technical early in the season. So exciting player, really good and dynamic. So
McIsaac on the set play. He's got it to Schwartz, but the flag's gone up for offside. Once again, that set play distribution from Tex probably not quite up to the standard they've set for themselves. Grover. What a ball. Into Peterson. Ball falls to Godden. Finds Todd Smith between lines. Drives forward. There's a crack. And just wide of that left hand upright.
they're so dynamic, Christchurch United. When they get between lines, it's full pace to goal the whole way, and that's how they hurt teams, with Phillip and McLennan running beyond. They've now got Wilkinson on this side. Really frightening when they do break those lines.
Edwards in there with a bit of late contact. Oh. Killick with a bit of Saturday night fever there, choosing one way then the next. This crowd just keeps on growing. Every time I look out at it, there's not too many seats spare in the Steve Sumner stand, and now even some of the fences are starting to be a bit more populated also. Lapsley gets it off to Taguchi. There's a run from Coughlin. Just an outstretched toe away there from a opportunity for Coughlin to get a chance. Back to Morisco, Christchurch United. Decent switch out. Bit of a game of twister there. Taguchi. Lapsley into Barbara Ryan. Edwards. Well marked, but he's just about got through between Lapsley and Patterson. Yeah, there's a few other tasty fixtures coming up next weekend in this National League Championship. If Phoenix Reserves against Auckland City. Well, the Phoenix Reserves have earned their place in the last two seasons, which, you know, they've got a compulsory place. Oh, here comes McLennan. He ended up on the ball. McIsaac's there. Squared. Storer's there. Puts a crucial block in as Phillip had eyes on goal. Peterson. Thought he might have drifted offside there, but all's good for Christchurch United at the moment. Coughlin releasing Matheson. Storms down this left-hand side, one-on-one with Grozer. Has a shot. It's got to Edwards. Taguchi. Just didn't fall for him, and he's put that one off into the English Park stream.
Have such high standards of him, don't we? We expect that one to nestle in the top corner, but almost disappointed that it doesn't. And now we've got a game, I think, Craig, an end-to-end transition battle. It's a little bit like a game of basketball at the minute.
Well, we certainly can't go on waffling about the National League Championship at the moment, as it as Wilkinson has it, looking forward. Well done from McIsaac, but equally well done. What a tussle. Great little contest between those two players. Schwartz turns back and goes back to Crystal, who puts it towards Matheson, but Grover winning the ball for Christchurch United. Godden to Todd Smith to Stern. Yeah, Christchurch United looking, well, were looking very comfortable in position there for a while, weren't they? That three at the back really suiting the players they've got.
Yeah, they're so comfortable in possession within that back three. Like all three of them happy to drive in, combine with their midfielders, do what they need to do, but also three great defenders.
Well, you saw Riley Grover mostly employed as a centre-back last year, and you look at the size of him and you go, what's going on there? But it was very hard to get beyond, and so good in position. And he's settled into that sort of right-sided back. There's Wilkinson, clips one in. It's all the way across to Phillip. Dances round one, dances round two, and just puts it wide. Well, you're never going to get Ben Lapsley off the left-hand side, are you? So Riley Grover taking that right side with Cameron Lindsay coming in this year has really just shored things up. And, of course, who we're missing is O'Driscoll, who's been solid all year. He's probably, him and Stokes are probably still celebrating last week's victory. Schwartz beating Phillip to the ball, crucially. Well, Eiffel not on the card, Paul Eiffel. Not putting himself on the card today. It was a couple of weeks ago he did find himself out there. I'm sure he just did that for the stats, did he? Been playing football every year since he's a lad. It's Coughlin. Cleverly gets the ball out to Matheson, who keeps finding himself in a lot of space. Whips the ball in towards Edwards. Coughlin's on the ball in the area. This is danger time. Plenty of attention. Still gets a shot away. Well, Lyle Matheson's, he's popping up on the left, popping up on the right. Always finding a space to be in.
Yeah, you just want a little bit, I know the wind's probably affecting a little bit, but you want a little bit more end product from him in those positions with the quality he does possess. But Garvin in the penalty box, you can't get too tight because he'll entice a foul, and you can't give him too much space because he'll do what he just did then. So, yeah, very careful.
Here's Edwards. Get it towards, well, and towards Coughlin, but nice and easy for Lindsay to deal with. Stern, under pressure, gets it out to Grover. Nicely played up to Wilkinson, who crosses the halfway line. He's got three players above him, but this pass is second rate. Easy cut out by Andrew Storer. This is a ding-dong battle here. Godden doing well to put pressure on Barbara Ryan, and just ended up being a wee bit too much.
Yeah, Cashmere Tech just need to be a little bit careful of this counter because Christchurch United leave two and they leave McLennan and Phillip. If another fullback gets a little bit excited, they're isolating Schwartz and Storer, who for all their strengths probably don't want to get into that sprint battle. But then Cashmere Technical need to chase the game, so it's interesting to see how this goes, and hopefully we can get a decent delivery here from Richards.
Well, 5 minutes left in this half, and Coughlin in the 6-yard box just can't get his head on that. Well, it was a pretty innocuous ball, to be honest, and but Coughlin got himself in a great bit of positioning, which isolated the centre back from the space where the ball fell. And Coughlin found himself there, but all it needed was a slight touch. What a great chance there for Cashmere Technical, probably their best of the day. Richards. Barbara Ryan spinning. Charging down him on the ball. Another pass cut out by Lindsay that was destined for Garvin Coughlin. McLennan battling away there and drawing a foul. He's no too happy about it. Well, he's a bruising player, would quite happily never be on the same field as him at any stage. Peterson able to turn to Wilkinson, and it comes to Stern. Isaac shutting that one down. Wilkinson now operating on the left. Senses an opportunity to cross, but goes to Todd Smith. Lindsay across to Grover, but gets it back. A wayward pass for once from Lindsay. Hasn't happened too often. Godden's got the ball back. Sends the ball forward to McLennan, who gets it on his left. It'll be dangerous. Desperate stuff in there from Andrew Storer, Captain Andrew Storer, and denies McLennan the opportunity. What a ball over there from Godden.
Yeah, 2 or 3 really crucial blocks from Andrew Storer so far, defending last ditch. A little bit like goal scoring, you've got to be able to sniff that out. It's almost something you can't coach.
Just a wee handball in there and Lapsley's on it. Todd Smith, embarrassing Edwards. Puts it in towards Crystal, who deals with it. Swartz to Matheson. Nicely brought down, but straight into Grover, who somehow doesn't get any whistle. Barbara Ryan into Wilkinson. Coughlin's going to chase back. Well tackled there from Richards, but can't link up.
Mike Killett being very consistent in the middle, I think it's got to be said. You know, he's letting a lot go, but the same for both teams. You know, a couple of things there that other referees may have called up, but throughout the game he's let a lot go, which is what spectators, what players want, even though we complain about it. It's what we want rather than the stop-start part of the game.
Well, we like to complain just quietly, don't we?
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, you're right, actually. I mean, what's good for the game, you know, there didn't need to be, there's a wee tug on the arm of Riley Grover there, but didn't really upset things too much, was it? So good to see, good flow to the game. And that just comes from the experience, the playing experience that Mike Killick has in the game.
Agreed. That understanding of the game and being in the middle of it and how you can feel the game and the moment in the game is really important.
Godden to Wilkinson. Can't get it to McLennan. There's a wee opportunity. Edwards. But a go forward. Oh, the young man there might look back at the tape and suggest he should have had a wee, maybe a bit of a go at that. McLennan, well brought down. Finds Stern. Goes back to Todd Smith. He's got 4 players in front of him. Finds McLennan. Goes out to Todd Smith. Clips it in towards Phillip. Peterson. Well, Mike Killick. A blatant 2-footed tackle on Mason Stern. I hope he watches this back. He should give himself a red card. You heard it here first.
That's that playing experience. He was just picking up the second phase, wasn't he?
Couldn't help himself, just natural instinct. Swartz pumps one forward to Coughlin. Coughlin does well to turn. Lindsay that time. Grover looks for Wilkinson. McIsaac's there. No, it's Peterson who's popped up over here. They've had a wee swap. And there we have the half-time whistle. Stern and Killick have made up. Well, we hardly had a moment's time there to discuss anything outside of the game. It was end-to-end action in the first half of this Morrison Mitsubishi English Cup final. Some great football from both teams. Tech will go into the changing room 1 goal down, having enjoyed the benefit of the tailwind in the first half. I'm sure they'll come out with a sense of a real good plan to get themselves back in this game. We look forward to you joining us in 15 minutes for the second half. Welcome back here to English Park for this English Cup final. It's half time. Christchurch United got the 1-0 advantage lead with a penalty. What did you make of that first half?
Yeah, some game of football. Small margin separates the teams. I can't wait for the second half. I think it's going to be the wind. Which way is the wind coming? I think it will be with Christchurch United this half, so that'll be interesting. And yeah, just some great football from both teams.
Yeah, I was just excited actually by the half-time show from the kids. There's some great play out there, and it's great to see lots of different shirts out there from different clubs around Christchurch. Heaps of different faces from, real coming together moment for Christchurch football, which is love to see happen more and more.
Yeah, I think, without blowing the trumpet too much for mainland football, I think we've done a great job today. First, the Southern League playoff between UC and FC Nelson. Then you've had the prize giving for all mainland football competitions, and then leading into an English Cup final. You see a real festival of football, and we're so lucky that we're all so connected, and we're combined, and we're wanting to see football in the region get better as a group, which you wouldn't see anywhere else around the country. So delighted to see.
Yeah, the player of the day out there for the half-time show would be that little fella with the red and white pom-pom hat on for me. Real good touches. The vision was extraordinary. And we even saw a bit of blood, didn't we? A bit of claret. There's a young lad out there with a bit of blood. He must have been working that half-time workout real hard. But here we go. Both sides now out in the park. Just Cashmere Technical taking that just a wee bit longer. So we'll have a look out for any reshuffling of the deck from either side. Looks like the fourth official hasn't got his board out, so as the spectators make their way back to their seats, nets are checked to make sure they haven't gone anywhere. Well, the groundsman again, Albie, he's done a great job. Not a blade of artificial grass out of place out there. And sit back, strap in for the second half of Morrison Mitsubishi Cup final football. Who's going to take the last bit of silverware on offer? Christchurch United, they've got the Southern League in the cabinet. They've got the Chatham Cup in the cabinet. And now they look to make it 3 competition wins. At Cashmere Technical through Xander Edwards have got the first opening, and it's in. Garvin Coughlin would have been hoping he might have been wearing larger shoes and he might have got there. The up and under falling to McLennan, Stern to Godden. Swartz puts it in. It just gives you a wee taste of how strong the wind is there. As soon as it got up in the air, it starts swinging back. So sometimes that can help you in football. You can't go up and over, so you play it on the deck, and I think that's what we saw at Christchurch United in the first half. They didn't lump anything forward. So they'll need to be continuing that in this half, even though they've got the wind at their backs. Anything hit long is probably going to go all the way through to Crystal and goal for Cashmere Technical.
Yeah, either that or eating up by the 2 big fellas at centre half for Cashmere Technical. If you want to go direct against those 2, has to be pretty precise.
Lindsay, to Lapsley. He one time New Zealand Futsal International, along with his brother Sam, and of course we saw the New Zealand Futsal boys get a 5-0 victory against China, which was a bit of a turn-up for me. I thought, well, here comes Wilkinson, got it on his right peg, and what a save! Well, that looked... Love to have an end on camera at that one. It was sweetly struck by Wilkinson, who found himself in a mile of space outside the 18-yard box. Got a good bit of it too, and
good strong
young
wrist.
Aidan Crystal battering it away. Yeah, I'm not sure if you keep your eye on the futsal too much, Lee, but that was a good victory by the futsal Whites, 5-0.
Huge win, huge win. You know, we need more international futsal. We need more South Island players in that team, and we need to make sure that we're competitive on the world stage.
Wilkinson got a lot of that one, and no trouble to anybody.
Yeah, obviously the Canterbury United being the National League men's winners, and the women bowing out in the semi-final. We hope to go one better on both stages next year, so big part of what we do here in Canterbury. Yeah,
keep your eye on. I think there's a bit of info coming out on that soon. Some trials being held for the Dragons coming up, so make sure you look at the Facebook pages and websites. You'll be if you're interested in that. We're back to the Morrison Mitsubishi English Cup. There's a couple of fine vehicles out there on the grassy bank from Morrison Mitsubishi, so if you get a chance, pop on down to Sockburn and call on to see the team there. And they'll show you some mighty fine vehicles. As once again, Matheson is in a bit of space. Goes back to Taguchi. Steered in towards Barbara Ryan. Sees a gap, gets round Godden. But getting forward there, but really isolating himself also. Taguchi. Sorts out to McIsaac. Peterson doing well to make things very difficult for McIsaac. Gets a bit of go forward, and again the numbers are good for Christchurch United. He's got through to Philip. Philip Storer's got across. He might have landed a wee bit uncomfortably there, but that go forward from Christchurch United imminent again.
Storer again there, the last man to make a challenge. Yeah, having a great game at the back. Andrew Storer leading his team.
Lindsay to Wilkinson. McLennan. Storer foot gets in the way again, but well, Taguchi's ended up with it. Barbara Ryan, closely monitored by Stern. McIsaac clipping one forward, but those aerial balls, I'm not sure if they're going to work too well for Cashmere Technical, as it seems to might have just popped up a knot or two out there. McLennan sees a bit of don't argue for there from Swartz as the two big men work their way down to those corners. And there's quite a contest for McLennan last week, wasn't it? And at the Chatham Cup final, and you might need a translator in there with the Scotsman and the East End London accent of Swartz.
Mank accent, Mank let live a Scouse accent from Tom Schwartz. I mean, two big men, great competitors. Tom Schwartz knows exactly what he's doing there. He knows how to get in people's heads. Anything to take McLennan off the game, but McLennan loves that too. So, yeah, good to see, good to see.
There's another wee sighter of the wind. Stern. Monitored well by Barbara Ryan. He's gone back to Grover. All the way back to Morris. Out to Lapsley, put under pressure from Matheson. Rolls it in, gains a bit of contact in there. Wilkinson also. But not bothered. Was Eddie Wilkinson by that close attention, but nothing coming of it as Swartz comes out. Kleisek into Coughlin. Coughlin goes around his own player, gets forward, retains position well, and it's a delightful ball through to Matheson, who can't get there before Morris. Well, that's how quickly the game could turn here for Cashmere Technical. Get Garb and Coughlin on the ball. Anything can happen. Wilkinson just with a defensive bomb. Richards, awkward ball from to Barbara, who brought it down very well. Matheson, right foot cross, dangerous, but Grover's there to get rid of. Taguchi, inches wide of the right hand upright. He really just didn't get all of it that he wanted. Opportunist, a little offer there for Cashmere Technical to get on the board.
Had Morris scrambling, didn't he? Not sure whether it was going in or not. I wasn't sure if he got a hand to it initially. Officials decided not. But more promising for Cashmere Technical for sure.
Nice work in here from Barbara Ryan. Ball in the direction of Edwards, but Peterson there, retreating well. Edwards gets it to Taguchi. Richards has got forward. Balls to Matheson. Richards really wanted that one back, but Taguchi's got it now. Matheson's inside the box, dribbling round one. Lindsay there to go into battle for the ball. And Matheson has drawn the whistle to the lips of Mike Killick and got himself a free kick in a relatively dangerous position here. See, tall Timber starts walking forward in the form of Swartz and Storer. And Matt Todd Smith is quite revved up today, and he's having a wee word there to Matheson, might be questioning in his ability to stand. Still going on about it. Well, a three-man wall. Only one back for Tech. Everybody committed to getting something out of this one for the boys in yellow. It's clipped in. It's decent, and it's a goal! And it's your captain, Andrew Storer. Well, a precise, the set play, we were looking for it all in the first half, and it's come and drawn the scores level here in the 7th minute of the second half.
It shows you the value of a good set-piece delivery. It allows the big fellas to go and attack it. And Andrew Storer is certainly dangerous in those spots. So, game on, Craig. Game on.
Yeah, we love a goal. And you'd have to say that Cashmere Technical have had the better of this opening minutes of the second half, and thoroughly deserved the chances they've produced. And delightful ball in from Matheson. Absolutely on the button. There's nothing Morris could do about that. It was too far away from him, and it really had to be a strong defensive display. And in the end, well, here's an opportunity for Peterson, who's got beyond, gets into the box, squares it. It's come out to Wilkinson, who's stretched it in towards Crystal's, put a hand in it and away from Storer. Star at both ends, Andrew Storer at the moment. Well, a man mountain in there. A great bit of go forward from Christchurch United. Wilkinson's ball was headed goalward, but there were plenty of bodies in there. Crystal got rid of it for the first go, and a restorer who stepped up and cleared the lines, but they've got more to defend here as United try to answer back straight away. Todd Smith on the ball again, has a strike, and what a strike it is! Wowee! The left peg of Matt Todd Smith gave young Aidan Crystal no hope.
Some strike from the edge of the area there. Cash Tech, the experience they have, they'll be disappointed to give space. A couple of minutes just after drawing level. and we said game on, and that's exactly what we had. So I don't think that'll be the last goal. I get the feeling that won't be the last goal of the afternoon.
I get that feeling as well, and Matt Todd-Smith might just have put his hand up for that Steve Sumner medal that's going to be presented to the MVP of the game. 2 goals for him today. But as we said, we're only 10 minutes into the second half. There's plenty of football to come. And there's plenty of people sitting in the Steve Sumner stand who are eagerly waiting goal number 4 for the day. Which way will it go? Godden to McLennan. Brings it down well. That's Storer, another player who's putting his hand up. Coughlin down a bit of space. Can he get to the ball? He can. Wilkinson carefully try not to. Where's Taguchi? Just about getting it through to Coughlin, who's ended up on the ground somehow. But Sam Phillip down the other end in the full court press. He's got the ball, drives in towards Storer, puts it on his right, thrashes it towards the near post, but it's wide.
And that's where you see Cashmere Technical being a little bit vulnerable. Christchurch United, top 2, and Phillip and McLennan, they what we'd call old school, a little bit of cheating from the centre forwards, and in one pass they're hurting you. But again, Tech have got to throw a little bit more caution to the wind to go and have a go. So
Cup football.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're in for a hell of a last 30, 35 minutes.
Wilkinson with a delightful touch to get around Richards, and he's going to have a ping. And an unsure Tom Swartz just get a bit of fringe on that one to put it out for a corner. Well, Sam Phillips been putting those goals away most of the season. He'll be disappointed with that option. That really could have put this game to bed.
Yeah, and his strike partner, I'm sure, is livid that he didn't get the square to tap that one home, but probably understands if it was the other way round, he'd also be taking it on. So
well, I'm sure if they take away a bit of silverware today, that will be forgiven. With Lapsley on the ball here, the left foot curled in, but again, not beating that first man, his brother. Cherie Lapsley will be on the edge of her seat. I'm sure she's got a yellow shirt underneath her blue shirt at the moment.
Absolutely, great football from Canterbury football family, the Lapsleys.
Todd Smith drawing the attention of Edwards. Well, it's pinging around everywhere at the moment. Well won by Peterson. Todd Smith with a bit of room to move. Gets round to Gucci. Has he got a left foot? Deft little pass to someone who has, and that was McLennan. McLennan would have been hands. Would have been a firm favourite there to strike one. He's got a pretty venomous left foot, but he tried to guide it out to Wilkinson, who probably expected him to shoot.
Yeah, but very unselfish player, McLennan. Adds value to the team in and out of possession, and doesn't mind who scores as long as the team wins, like you said before.
Matheson, back to Richards. Wilkinson. Back to Grover, into Godden. Bit more of a quiet game from him today. He really hasn't found his way into the game. Not like last week. I thought he was one of the featured players at the Chatham Cup final. McIsaac. We hope here. Edwards, plenty of good numbers forward, and Coughlin questioning Edwards there, but the young-spirited Xander Edwards backing himself from there, but into that wind was probably going to have to strike it extraordinarily well. McLennan, ball cut out by Storer, but it's got into Barbarian, trying to weave his way around and create something. He's got it out to Matheson. Matheson taking on Lapsley. Gone back to Taguchi. Swings it across. Well, you don't see the old back heel, back pass that often from adopted there from Peterson, but he'll be more than happy that it's ended up as a Cashmere technical throw. Shovelled forward, chased by Phillip. He's going to get it under as well. One-on-one with Schwartz and he's bursted past. Here's an opportunity. Oh, McLennan. Has he been brought down? He thinks so, but Stern back to Wilkinson. Threshes it in and it's come off the post. Well, that looked... Well, I want to see a replay. Put it on the big screen.
Wow.
We've got to change because we can just didn't understand what happened there, but going to see a change and Lapsley goes to the sideline and it looks like it's that Declan Tyndall. It's come on. Well, that was quite a attacking foray there from Christchurch United. Phillip had done something that plenty of people failed doing, is out-muscling Schwartz at the back there, and found himself with a great pass into McLennan, but McLennan just getting tangled up with the player behind him. Todd Smith. And down goes Phillip, who just looked to have slipped it. That's probably what Killick thought also. Lindsay calmly back to Peterson and all the way back to Morris. Yeah, it was McLennan who had the first go inside the 6-yard box, but just got tangled up, and then Wilkinson exchanging passes there with Stern, got himself into a great spot and fair cannoned in off the uprighters. He would have been praying for a square post, the old-fashioned square post, and that would have gone in. Todd Smith bombs the box. And another change here in the first one for Christchurch United. Be number 17, Joel Peterson, go to the bench. It's Nicholas Murphy coming on, I think.
Yeah.
New Zealand under 17. I think he captained the side actually. Be a player to watch for the future. Nicholas Murphy, obviously gaining some more and more experience. Stern heading it forward to Gucci, to McIsaac. And Tyndall get his first chance with the ball. Can't get it beyond Grover. The Coughlin's won it back. Comes Edwards. Gets forward, does Garvin Coughlin. And draws the attention. Looks hopefully back at Killick, and I think he just maybe a more, I don't know, maybe a less experienced referee may have given that one, but he definitely just drew the contact.
Yeah, very smart from Garvin Coughlin, and I'm sure tackle feel.
Tyndall gets a bit of go forward, the fresh legs, gets it to Coughlin. And it's straight at Morris in this opportunity to Garvin Coughlin. Well cut out by Richards.
Yeah, I feel, Tech will probably feel as if the one in the first half was given for Wilkinson, that one potentially could have been given too, but Mike Killick was up with play and he's there to see it, so he's the best man to make the decision.
Well, I have the privilege of seeing Mike Killick's Strava reads every weekend, and he does a fair few miles out in the park. He's definitely one of the fitter referees around. And Coughlin on the ball, drives it in towards Barbara Ryan, tries to square it, it's back on the ball. Morris has done extraordinarily well there, but an acrobatic effort in the end there from Tyndall brings no reward for that great attacking effort from Cashmere Technical. And now they're going to have to hightail it back to squash this forward play from Christchurch United. Todd Smith. Great little toe in there from McIsaac as Todd Smith was looking to pull the trigger. Well, Barbara Ryan would love to have that moment over again. I'm sure the square pass was definitely on, but you got to back yourself in there.
Yeah, it's always been the only question mark over Aidan really is his ability to give you an end product.
Well, I've seen him play some high school football, and the word selfish might have been used, but he was never any stranger from scoring goals. But that time, and here comes Matheson, Lapsley throwing everything at it, and Stern getting a great toe in there. Wilkinson's ball, he's giving it back to Cashmere with Coughlin on the ball. He's got it to Matheson, who tried a bit of special sauce in there. Oh, great play from Wilkinson, who just glides by Taguchi, but the $1 million ball wasn't on. Oh. Well, it was on, wasn't it? Of course, every $1 million ball is on, but a bit too straight. Storer into Barbara Ryan. Out to McIsaac. Plenty of players in front of him. Got the ball back to Barbara Ryan. Across to Taguchi. Bit of space. Oh, that long legs of Lapsley just getting in the way there. Taguchi. Flicks it across. Coughlin's there. He's got on the ball. Strikes it. Hits the side netting. But the wrong side of it, if you're a Cashmere Technical fan. Right, bit of a change here for the Paul Eiffel side. McLennan, he's done enough today. They're going to bring on our Zeb.
And Cashmere Technical will be happy to see the back of McLennan, I'm sure, but at the same time, the two big fellas of Cashmere Technical won't be happy to see Eddie Wilkinson make his way to that top line.
Yes, Zeb's going to come out here onto the left-hand side of the attack. Phillips has come out here also, but I'd say Wilkinson will play more of a central role. I remember back to those. There was a wee time there at Canterbury United when Wilkinson and Storer would have been in the same side, and I thought the kind of humour of those two boys they'll have a great battle up there. Coughlin getting it back into Barbara Ryan, gets it out to McIsaac, bundles his way through, but great battling in there from Murphy. Godden dispossessing Barbara Ryan. Wilkinson, clever ball back into Godden. Tried to, Phillips just come from an offside position.
Yeah, I saw as soon as Eddie Wilkinson made his way up to the top line, Tom Schwartz had obviously said something to him that had a giggle between the two. I'm sure it was something like, don't move, otherwise you might not have any legs. But yeah, listen, it's great to see Eddie Wilkinson. It looks like he's playing with a smile on his face.
Richards towards Coughlin. It's bang on his chest. Murphy said he got to get rid of it. He has. Lapsley into Zeb. Able to turn and square up. Gets the ball forward and into Wilkinson. Wilkinson out to Murphy. Todd Smith. Out to Phillip. Square ball to Wilkinson. Bit of space to crack one. Gets it onto his right. Schwartz is there to swat it away. Murphy brought it down well. Exchanges pass with Wilkinson. Godden. Murphy just misreading the connections there. Just getting. Got it. To Stern. Swartz. Crucial bit of intervention there from Tom Swartz. And Christchurch United just having to resort to the clear the lines. Has that clock slowed down or something? There's plenty of football left in this one. It just keeps giving, this game. And it's Edwards who's got a bit of space up against Murphy. The overlapping run from McIsaac, not used, into Barbara Ryan. Touch is not great, and neither is the finish, or attempted finish, we should say.
Yeah, poor decision from Barbara Ryan then, with numbers up in the final third for Cashmere Technical.
Lapsley back to Morris. Gets it away, but only as far as Taguchi. Wilkinson comes in and owns it. Matheson coming back from an offside position there. Love to see Lyle Matheson. I don't know. It was a couple of seasons ago. He was absolutely on fire, wasn't he? He was scoring regularly. Just seems to be off the boil. Well, not hitting his straps really so far this year. Of course, there's plenty of National League football to come, and he can be a hell of a dangerous player for any defence. And here's an opportunity. Well cut out by Lindsay. Well, Cameron Lindsay's probably shown his class there at the centre back of this Christchurch United defence, hasn't he? He's been on top of everything. He's Godden drives forward. Out it comes to Wilkinson, who's back into the left-hand side of the attack. Clips it into Godden. Plenty of composure as they go forward here, Christchurch United. Zeb slowing things down, looking for that opportunity to punch into the defence. Goes into one. Bit of a collision, but it's a goal kick in the eyes of Mike Killick, and all the officials throughout Canterbury will agree with him.
Yeah, great defending from Declan Tyndall there. Got himself in front. Stopped any progression from Zeb.
Lapsley winning that well. Just a wee bit of contact to the head, unfortunately, for Matheson. Maybe just a bit of a stray arm in there, but determined defending in there from Ben Lapsley.
Yeah, he's saying, I've got the ball, ref, but I mean, what contender, competitor Benji Lapsley's turned himself into, especially in that back four. You know, grew up playing in midfield and out wide, and he's turned himself into a great defender, in my opinion.
Well, it was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? He had a real bad run of head injuries, didn't it?
Yeah.
Threatened to actually take him out of the game, but he's, you know, with those head injuries, you never quite know what you're in for, and it's great to see that he's back and probably playing some of the better football we've seen him play.
Yeah, in my opinion, he's been the standout defender in the league this year. You know, you don't often give it to a fullback, the lowly fullback, but I think
we all love a left back.
I think he's been fantastic. I really do. You know, talking about the Lapsley family, my highlight of the Chatham Cup final is actually as soon as the whistle went on the live stream, you saw Benji make a beeline straight for his mum and gave her a big hug. He knows which side his bread is buttered, and you know, give his mum a big hug because he knows that she's done so much over the years to help his game. So yeah, great to see him do so well.
All those Vegemite sandwiches buttered well.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe the odd scone.
That's absolutely right.
McIsaac, clever little release from pressure there. Out to Richards. He'll go back to him. Coughlin holding the space so well. And here goes Tyndall with an opportunity and a goal! Well, that great bit of control in there from Coughlin to tie the scores. As he brought the ball down, it fell to Declan Tyndall, who struck it beyond keeper Morris to draw the scores level with half an hour to go.
15 to go, Craig. 15 to go.
I beg your pardon. Half an hour gone.
Half an hour gone.
That's what I meant to say.
15 to go, and yeah, we've got a great game here. A great game in front of us. Both sides giving everything, end to end. Great defending, great combination play, 4 great finishes. We're very lucky to be seeing what we're seeing.
Well, you never know. In 15 minutes, I might be right. With half an hour to go. There'll be extra time and penalties if required. I'm sure there's a few Christchurch United supporters and players who would rather it didn't go that way. They had to put up with extra minutes last week. Murphy with a good touch in there, but Swartz ever present. As United will look to come back quickly as they did in the after levelling up last time. Barbara Ryan into Coughlin, rides the challenge well, gets it out towards Matheson, but the ball has made its way across the sideline for a United throw. Lindsay waiting for the opportunity. Just a wee touch on there. Captain Matt Todd-Smith just trying to rally the troops, asking them to dig deep. Well, you certainly... Zeb dancing around 1, dancing around 2, and it's Lyle Matheson who brings the yellow card out of the pocket of Mike Killick on this occasion. Well, Cashmere technical name, it's been on this cup for 6 years in a row as they try to make it 7. And if they do, they'll tie the record of a Western team that held it from... Well, they'll take over the record held by a Western team from 1936 to 1941. This cup goes back a long way, Lee. This is the oldest cup in New Zealand football. It was 1913 was the first time it was contended for. Just a couple of years older than the Chatham Cup.
And I believe Albie was playing in that first final.
Yeah.
He'll be able to tell you.
Matheson. Controlling well, gets it into Tyndall, the goal scorer. Out it goes to Edwards. Drives the ball in and gets a corner, no. It's a goal kick. Yeah, well, Albie was great in that game, of course. Just about kicked the laces off the ball.
Yeah, he'd tell you how the game's to be played at any opportunity. But I go back to, Cashmere Technical have, you say, won it 6 times on the run, and they've been so dominant in local football over the past 10 years. It's great to see some real competition for them, and great to see, like I said before, 2 genuine National League quality teams in our region, and that can only be good for us as we look to progress football in the region.
Zeb, well, opportunity to take one-on-one here, but there's plenty of yellow shirts there to impede his momentum. Matheson back to Storer, into Taguchi. Matheson back to Richards. Taguchi. Stern. Desperate into defence. High up in the park.
It's not often you see a midfield battle like we've seen today. It's one of days gone by. Lots of big tackles, lots of the physical confrontation that, yeah, like I say, we don't tend to see anymore, and it's nice to see.
Aidan Barber-Ryan on the ball, 3-on-3 it is. Edwards has made an advance run. There's an overlapping run from McIsaac. Drives into the box, but his touches just looks a wee bit heavy. Oh, a great opportunity. It's Cashmere Technical who are just on a wee bit of ascendancy as they attack. Grover, back into Lindsay. Drives forward. Thought he was getting it to Phillip, but well, Wilkinson's ended up with it. Now to Gucci. Here comes Edwards. To Coughlin with a bit of clear air in front of him. Gets it to Edwards, who's going to strike this. Yeah, really just not picking up the kind of strike he needed to beat Morris in goal. But a great opportunity there. Again, going the way of Cashmere Technical for playing the stronger at this moment in time. It's really seesaw battle here for the Morrison Mitsubishi English Cup. Who's going to step up and put their name forward for taking this trophy? Matt Todd-Smith with 2 goals already. Gets the ball to Wilkinson. Grover. Stern. Out to Lapsley in an advanced position. Look at that Cashmere Technical defensive shape. It's strong. Zeb. Well, in the pocket of Richards there. You thought it might have been a contest, but a very experienced defender easily winning that battle. Swartz. Playing it out, McIsaac. Well, how have Cashmere Technical kept the ball there? They've done extraordinarily well. Taguchi now with a bit of go forward. Got the ball to Matheson. Clear line to goal. Cross comes Lapsley and nicks it off him. Phillip. And Richards has somehow done himself a bit of a disservice there in a desperate tackle.
And you see Todd Smith there, he's very aware of JJ being very smart there. I've got a little bit of an injury, slow the game down. They all know they'd do exactly the same thing if the shoe was on the other foot.
Gordon into Wilkinson. Gets a bit of a clip from ex-teammate Aidan Barber-Ryan. Well, here's a ball to Coughlin. Coughlin v Lindsay. Decent battle here. Glides across the field as Garvin Coughlin. Somehow gets the ball back. Collides. Matheson strikes one and gets a corner. Well, there's all sorts of questioning going on out there. There was quite a few moments there where maybe the whistle might have been blown, but it's a corner.
Yeah, two decent advantages played there for Cashmere Technical. You know, the first one Garvin was able to combine a little bit further, and the second one Lyle gets a shot away. So stop complaining, get on with the game, and let's play corner.
There'll be Taguchi on the ball. Storer and Swartz. We've seen Swartz score in these sort of pressure moments for both Technical and Canterbury United, and it's thereabouts as well. Where's the ball going to end up? It's to Lapsley, who clears it. Wilkinson just colliding in there with Taguchi. Well, Morris came out. Wasn't a dominant display in the air, but he got a crucial bit of it. And the tall timber will stay forward for for Cashmere Technical. McIsaac on the ball. Delivered. Swartz. Tyndall. Coughlin getting it towards Tyndall. Clever bit of defending, kept in well. And cleared. And it's Wilkinson, 3-on-1. He'll actually back his chances from here. Stayed on the ball, he's joined by Todd Smith. Brings the ball in, and he's got Swartz outside the box. And, yep, that's a long way away from the intended target, I'd imagine. 5 minutes to go. There's a couple of players stretching out there. One prone on the ground, McIsaac taking a bit of a knock maybe.
Yeah, some tired bodies. Time to get some fuel on board, some water, a little bit of sugar.
There might even be a bit of a substitution coming in here for Christchurch United. Yeah, number 12, he'll be making Mason Stern, being replaced by number 2, Louis King.
Christchurch United. Going off, number 12, Mason Stern, to be replaced by number 2, Louis King.
Now, young Louis King, his debut season here at United.
Must be said, Craig, if someone was to win it in the 90 now, it'd be cruel. It's been such a close contest, a competitive one. And great to see both sides go real toe-to-toe. Undoubtedly the best two sides in the South Island. And they've really gone toe-for-toe like two big heavyweights should.
Absolutely. Yeah, a real good matchup. All season it's been this way. The only loss, or the only victory we saw, well, Cashmere Technical had a victory in the last game of the year. Christchurch United had a victory over Tech in the Chatham, on their road to the Chatham Cup. To take the McFarlane Shield, of course, as well. The McFarlane Cup. And it really has been very close between these two sides. Can Christchurch United add to their silverware? Or can Cashmere Technical continue their dominance of this competition? Wilkinson thrashes it in, but catches Swartz and gives up a corner. And there's an extra time, or additional time, of 5 minutes to this game. It's announced rather early, isn't it? Unless that clock.
Yeah, I think that clock's a little bit behind. Looking at our time, our time's on 90 minutes, so yep. Yeah, 5 minutes to go.
And it'll be Lapsley's left foot to deliver a corner here. This is going to swing in with the wind. It's up and over, and Edwards has had to clear the lines. And he will have another go. Lapsley. Well, this is decent. And it's made its way in. Oh, my goodness me. I've been waiting for that one all year. He's a great corner taker with that left peg. And hearts are broken for the moment for Cashmere Technical and their fans. But there's plenty. There's a couple of minutes left. What a corner!
Yeah, great delivery. Wind's played havoc, I think, with the goalkeeper and the defenders, and it's ended up in that top corner of the back post by Lapsley.
Well, it's dipped in. It wasn't flat, was it? It had a bit of an arc on it. What can Cashmere Technical do? Not long left in this one. Barbara Ryan's got himself running forward. Gets his ball to McIsaac. Brings it across. And they've given up a corner. Here come the big boys again. Storer and Swartz. Taguchi on the ball. Can he swing it in? Well, all of a sudden seems the wind might have gone away. Here's Taguchi. Puts it in the mixer. Stora's here. Propels it forward. Coughlin. Wow. Inside the 6-yard box. Cannot find the net. And Morris, the most relieved keeper out there, will get to kick this one forward, take up seconds out of the game. Richards wins it, the determined defender. Just going to stay in it. Here's Stora just getting a good foot on that one, looking for a ball. Get it forward, says Tom Swartz. Taguchi on the ball. Across he goes to Swartz. This will be launched. Stora's gone forward. Barbara Ryan against Todd Smith. Good contest in the end. It's attempted thread through to Edwards, who'd made a great run through. But it was that man, Lindsay, who's popped up in defensive situations all day. Barbara Ryan's pass, cut out by Murphy. Well taken by Dan Terrace on the sideline there. Should have been a keeper. McIsaac delivers in towards Stora. Propelled away by Grover. Edwards. Taguchi. And Phillip. Come back, and Terrace again finds himself on the ball. He's really stepping up in his dying moments. Richards. Forward it goes, but this is going to be easy. Got Todd Smith. Phillip. And Swartz. Doing what he needed to do just to stop that attack. But he can't stop the clock ticking over. 3-2 on the scoreboard at this stage. There can't be long left.
No, that's 95 minutes ticked by my calculations, Craig. And Christchurch United doing a good job of winding down that clock.
Well, they're not going to commit anything to this free kick. It might be Matt Todd Smith just having a shot from here. Or he might even see if he can't get it onto Cranford Street. They've set up a wall. Christchurch United have 5 back beyond the ball. They're just going to walk it into the corner and give up a throw-in. And there's the 3 sharp whistles from referee Mike Killick, bringing this Morrison Mitsubishi English Cup final to an end. What a contest it's been, Lee Padmore.
What a spectacle of football. 2 great teams, like I said before, going toe for toe. And Christchurch United just coming out on top, confirming the treble for them. Cashmere Technical will have to get themselves back up for the National League next week, beginning with Auckland United here at English Park.
Yep, an outstanding game that opened up with a penalty in the first half, which Christchurch United's captain Matt Todd Smith put away. And it was in the second half he popped up again and got another. Andrew Straw on the scorecard for Cashmere Technical. So both captains scoring. It was Declan Tyndall who tied it up 2-2 after some great work from Garvin Coughlin. And a big in-swinging corner from Ben Lapsley found its way into the into the goal and into cup history with Christchurch United taking the English Cup for 2023. And we'll settle back and watch the celebrations. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Lee, for your help in the commentary. And we look forward to watching both these teams compete in the National League this season. And it brings a winter season here in Canterbury to an end.
surprised you're not already on the turf, sir. Those boys will already be blind, won't they? Yeah. I just emailed me around coach developer opportunities. But yeah, I'll get back in touch with him. Good lad. He's from Nelson, isn't he? Yeah. Oh, okay. Hey, mate.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get some trophies and medals handed out. What a fabulous game of football we all got treated to here today at English Park. It was a true treat to see both these two sides go hammer and tong at each other in the final game of the winter season here at Mainland Football, and it certainly was great to see. Look, I've got here with me Jay from Morrison Mitsubishi, obviously very valuable supporters of this Cup football and of Mainland Football. Just get you to say a few words.
Thank you very much. It's honestly a pleasure to be here and to sponsor these amazing games. As you can see, amazing talent, amazing game today, and we're just proud to be here. So give it a round of applause for both teams. Awesome, and we'll see you all at the next game from me.
Well, they might even see you out at Morrison Mitsubishi Stockburn to go and check out a few of those vehicles. There's a couple over there. Check them out. I'm sure they're available for a test drive. Right, obviously obviously the game flowed very well and it was well controlled by our officials, so I'd like to invite the officials to come forward and get their medals, please. Although I thought you might have given yourself a red card there, Mike, for that tackle on Mason Stern late in the first half. I'd like to invite the finalists, Cashmere Technical, to come forward and collect their medals, please. An absolutely outstanding final and an outstanding contribution from Cashmere Technical. Put your hands together, please. Now I have here with me the son, Carlos, and grandson, Beckett, of Steve Sumner, who the MVP award is named after. And of course, the Steve Sumner stand. And the winner of the MVP Steve Sumner Award goes to Christchurch United's Matt Todd Smith. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll invite the English Cup winners, Christchurch United, to come forward and get their medals. Don't be shy. Right, I've got here with me Captain Matt Todd Smith and player of the day. I'd just like to say a few words to everybody.
Just thanks to the supporters coming out. It was a good atmosphere. It's been a long few weeks for us, so pleased to come out on top with the trophy. Just want to say thanks to Cashmere as well. Always a great game against them. And thanks to Mitsubishi too. Go and check them out, eh?
You'd look good in one of those too. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for the 2023 English Cup winners, Christchurch United. Well, an outstanding game and an outstanding season for Christchurch United. We wish both Christchurch United and Cashmere Technical all the best for their National League Championship campaigns.
as the season of football continues. So once again, thank you very much for everybody for coming along to this game and supporting it, and all the best to both teams, and thank you on behalf of Mainland Football.